So who's starting, man? Are you starting? Am I starting? Hello everybody, welcome to our new video, and in this installment, Mike is kind of staring at me weird. In this installment, we're gonna
get now that zoom with my face.
We're gonna get the zoom. We're gonna talk about a very serious subject actually, and that's financing of independent short animated films. That's something that we've been doing for, you know, such a long time now.
Yeah,
Did
actually,
I say 20 years? Is it 20?
But I mean our first short films, and this is maybe the first point that we need to say, our first short films were not produced by us. So they were produced by a different company, because we made the film, but they produced it. So what does this mean? If you make it, don't you also produce it? That's the first kind of misconception that a lot of people who start doing short films have.
Yeah.
So whoever is the producer, he's the guy that gets the money for the film. So he's the owner of the film.
That was a shocker, because I always thought like the first film that we did was a labor of love. It's something, you know, it was your idea, the script and everything, and you know, the whole thing, animating everything we did. And then, you know, you kind of told me, no, it's not our film. I was like, but we were working on it for like over a year, man.
Yeah.
No, it's the producer's film. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Whoever gets the money for the film, he owns the film. So you are either a director, animator, CG artist, script writer, all of these positions. But the owner of the film is the producer. So if you want to be and co-owner and co-producer of a short film,
that is a unique opportunity that you have now using the force of NFTs with our new short film, The Lokals, where you are a co-producer and a co-owner.
So if you get the NFT, you have the wonderful art from Božo Balov.
We come to a very important point, and that is two things, like approximate budgets and where do you find them. So we can say the first thing when it comes to budgeting.
I'm so hungry, you know, my stomach is like...
Is it doing... am I gonna have like an audio issue with you?
I don't know, I hope not. Otherwise, if there's no thunder, it's me, you know, I'm hungry as hell, I guess.
We're not feeding him. You gotta work first.
Yeah, so you were saying budgets and...
Yeah, so first thing we want to talk about when it comes to financing, what's the approximate budget? For like, we can say like professional short filmmakers.
I would actually go on a different route. So I would say if you're a first-time director, you should not be also a producer. So first-time directors should always find producers that have a track record, that already produced films, just because there's so much misconception in what it means to produce a film. If you're a first-time director and producer, you will most likely fail.
And also, I just want to say, like, we're talking about short films. When I say like professional short films, it's not something. I mean, student films are great. They're, you know, awesome. But it's usually done during your studies. It's done by a group of people, you know, and you don't need to have like producers, and you don't need to have huge budgets and stuff like that. I mean,
this is if when we're talking about short films here, we're talking about short films which cost in excess to 100,000 euros. 70,000 euros, maybe 50,000 euros, I would say, is the bottom of the bottom. So everything below, you know, like 30, 20,000 euros, you know, these kind of budgets, you know, that's a whole different beast. But if you're going to make a professional short animated film, you're looking, and let's say the film is about maybe 6 to 10 minutes, you're looking around 60 to 100,000 euros. And for this, you need budgets, and for this, you need co-producers, and most importantly, for this, you need the grants from cultural funds.
So let's say what would be the places where one can find money?
Yeah, so I will keep it kind of short and sweet. First, you need to look to your hometown. if there is any kind of municipality there that has some kind of funds for arts and stuff like this, because when you go statewide, they always want to see if you get funds from your town. So go and check out. This will usually be very small funds, but these funds are enough for you to kind of kickstart the thing. Then when you get this fund, you go to state funds, you know, and you try and lock in the state funds. Once you lock in the state funds, then you are looking for a co-producer outside your state, your country, because any co-producer, you know, from Germany, France, Japan, Canada, the States, they're gonna ask, do you have national funding? If you have national funding, they're gonna take you on. But if you don't have national funding, you know, regional funding, then this means that your own country, your own, you know, community doesn't believe in the project.
Yeah.
So there are rare instances where people will take on such projects, but this will never be from a young director. It would be from somebody who's already has a proven track record, and you know, this video is not for them. When you're preparing such stuff, you know, for these cultural bodies, and you know, usually you're not a really great cartoonist, you're not a really great storyboard artist, you know, all these things. So you need to find people who are willing to work with you on this project, to be a part of it.
Yeah, so to kickstart things, for the funding, you need like a small group of people that will help you make the materials we talked about, you know, the tagline, and
synopsis, storyboard, character design, you know.
So we talked about it in our previous video. You can check that out. Those are the ingredients that you need to make a short animated film.
I would recommend that you, because like we said, this is the most important thing that represents your film, and usually it's what makes or breaks whether you will get the financing or not.
Yeah.
So, you know, try and find really talented people and see that they get involved and excited about the project, and they invest a little bit of their time so you can create a really powerful portfolio for your film.
Okay, so once you have that, you apply to all of those instances, and you start getting feedback. Hopefully you start getting some positive feedback, start getting some funds, and you know, once you got the funds, of course, you got the responsibility to finish what you started.
Yeah, so always make sure that you don't shortchange yourself in a way that you're over optimistic on how much time and money and people you're gonna need to create a film. So when you're creating the budget, be super realistic. Animation is a sport of numbers. If it takes you a week to create 10 seconds, then you just multiply this with how many minutes you have, and then you will soon see how much money it takes you for the animation, then for coloring, for cleanup, for sound design, for all these things. So I would say realistically, even if you're like super young and you don't have that much expenses and you're thinking I'm going to invest a lot of my time into this, I would say something between 5 and 10,000 euros per minute is the bare
bottom line.
Yes, I would say if you don't get 5,000 euros per minute for your film, chances are you're not going to have the funds to finish it.
Or you're going to be what we really don't like to see, and that's a starving artist.
Yeah, because art is such a laborious...
So I just want to make this point. If you do get funding, you start spending that funding, you have to finish the film. Otherwise, you have to give back the funding. So that's why you need to be realistic about this. It's not just, you know, they give you money and see you later. You have to finish the film, and it has to be what they agreed to fund. So that's a super important thing. Do we have like, once when we were doing Dove Say, we actually ran out of money.
Oh yeah, we ran out of money on a lot of projects, you know, up until we really took hold of everything.
Yeah, when Planimo came, we really turned things around.
I mean, because there is this kind of misconception, you love what you do, so it's a labor of love, so even you should do it even if you are not compensated. But that works if you're 16, 17, 18 and you're still living with your parents and you really don't have any life expenses. Later on, you know, you need to create, you need to turn your passion into something that can sustain you. So in this sense, yeah, our first films, we overestimated our capabilities, underestimated a lot of things, ended up in the red, and then we had to, you know, just work for free for a couple of months to finish the film.
Yeah.
And, you know, on the second film, we ran out of money, but then we locked in some co-producing partners.
Yes, we did.
And
that's when we decided, when we was actually us who managed to find the extra funds, and we were like, I think we can do this.
Yeah.
So that's how we started producing our own film. Okay, so I think we came to the end of this little short description. So we wanna maybe do a summary. So what would you say, like, the most important things are?
I would say find ideas that inspire other people to become a part of your project, because you cannot do it on your own.
So I like the journey that you said. Find money first in your own town, then find money, you know, in your like state or country. Then after you get that, you can start finding co-producers outside of your own country.
Yeah.
And I would say like the third thing is be realistic about your budgets. You know, because once you do get funding from these institutions, you are going to be required to finish the film.
And also be patient. Fundraising is not something that happens overnight. It takes about half a year to a year to get enough money to kickstart the project, and then sometimes to close the budget, it takes even longer. So just be realistic and be patient. And
yeah, we hope to see a lot more short animated films out there, a lot more people jumping into the game. It's fantastic, we love it. And of course, let's not forget, if you do want to jump into a short film production, you have a wonderful chance with our projects, the Lokals, where you can become a co-producer and co-owner. And of course, don't forget to like the video, follow us for all, you get notifications for all our future videos, a lot more awesome content coming up. And follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, and also join our Discord, where we talk about the Lokals project, where you can be a part of the production from start to finish.
If you have any questions, drop your questions either on Discord or on Vimeo, on YouTube, and then we'll
drop a comment on the YouTube video if you have any questions regarding what we said, or if you have some experiences, you know, in your own fundraising or anything like that. We would love to hear from you. And yeah, so that's it from us in this installment. Have a good one.
Cheers, everybody.